women need to understand that you can't hate on men for giving up all the best years of your lives, where realistically you guys are probably not living a life like we're living, where we can just go on yachts every weekend, no jobs, travel, everything's paid for, taken care of, partying nonstop. What are you guys doing? Probably hustling, working hard, doing all those things. I am not hating on guys who want to date models, get blown by everything around them. I'm not hating on that, because I get it, because you deserve it. But for me to step in after not sacrificing partying my entire life and go, okay, I think I deserve you, I think that's where there's a disconnect in women. I'm glad we're starting to turn a new leaf and admit that shame needs to be brought back to society on a extremely aggressive level. The fact that girls will just go on the street and do interviews that go viral and say the craziest shit that you literally could not waterboard out of me. They'll just be like, yeah, I cheated on with his brother, and then I sucked 10 dicks that night. And you're just like, yeah, this is good. No, that's a good, yeah, the fact that you feel no shame, embarrassment, remorse, like quite literally any of the things that make you not a sociopath is really f***ing bad.
Welcome, brothers. It is well known that for women, taking responsibility for their actions is like kryptonite. Modern women seem to think they can say and do whatever they want without consequences in the long run. But, brothers, the day you decide to stand in front of a camera, that content will be uploaded on the internet for a lifetime. Saying that you slept with so many guys, or that one night you ate 10 bananas and hooked up with someone's dad or brother, how do you think your future partner will take that? Or even the male figures in your family, because your father could also end up seeing that video. But they only live for the thrill. Now, regarding what was said about men, how many times do we see women who have been on a yacht, taken luxurious trips, or dined at the best restaurants or the most expensive places in our country? But you wonder, what does this woman do for a living? You only see that this woman had all that just because of her beauty. She didn't have to sacrifice anything to be there, because only women have this power between their legs. For a man to be on a yacht, he has to pay for it, be friends with someone influential, or be born into a wealthy family. Is it unfair? No, it's not. So why isn't it unfair? When a man decides in his 20s to work on himself, to try to get ahead and become the man who can get on a yacht, is he obligated at 30 or 35 to date women his age who didn't pay attention to him in their 20s but went with another man for trips and yacht rides while ignoring him? Now that you've become the type of guy she was dating in her 20s, they want you to invite them when they have the opportunity to date a 20-year-old, the new model. For women, this is unfair because you don't choose them. But when they have the power to choose you, you know what they do? They go for the man in a better position than you. What hypocrisy, right, brothers? That's why I always say, let the wall hit them, because the wall doesn't forgive.
When the man loves the woman way more than the woman loves the man.
This old wives' tale is wrong. I post about this a lot, and I will continue to do so, but I understand people say this because of bad experiences, because they fell in love with a man and he misused her, he abused her, he cheated on her, he betrayed her. Something went terribly wrong, and so now women are playing it safe. But do not settle for less in the marriage. The person that you're going to commit to for the rest of your life, you should not be settling. It's so important for you both to love each other just as much. This should be reciprocated between the two of you. Now, men and women love differently. That's really important to realize. We usually reference feminine types of love. You know, just thinking like the hearts shooting out of someone's eyes, rose petals, poetry, all of that stuff. Romance, I get it. Men have to perform romance, but that's a man speaking a woman's language, love language, right? Men generally love in more masculine ways, and we invalidate it. We do not appreciate when he's protecting us, when he's providing for us, when he's honoring us, when he's worried about our safety, when he's doing things for us, lots of acts of service and obviously physical touch and affection, but those are more masculine ways that men love. And to think, if we're comparing who is loving each other more, a man should love a woman more masculinely and a woman should love a man more femininely. So from the outside, you're going to see more of that sort of gaga attitude, I call it, for lack of a better term, from the woman. Okay? I really want to drill this home. So expecting men to pedestalize his woman more often than her is a recipe for disaster. This is when the woman's going to start to resent the guy. She's going to end up realizing she's not in love with him. She doesn't love him enough to carry her through forever, and she's going to hightail it out of there and find a better man. Thus, her hypergamous nature, not that she needs to fulfill it, but in this case, settling for less, she will fulfill it eventually. So in order to prevent this type of breakup, the woman needs to be gaga, needs to be crazy about the guy. She needs to love him more. The man is going to be more consistent and loyal when he chooses a woman. He doesn't have to have those highs that a woman needs. He's totally cool with being, even keeled with his love because he has that innate sense of duty and honor to his commitment.
In summary, genuine interest is non-negotiable. Many women choose to marry the safe option, which is often our white knight, the savior of women, the simp, or the beta provider. This often leads to unhappy marriages, dead bedrooms, or divorces where you lose everything. That's why men like the beta provider who offers comfort to women always fail, because they try to buy her interest with money. Initially, the woman may see the financial stability as a reason to be with you, but in the long run, it begins to wear her out, and she ends up resenting you, often after they're already married. She may even take your assets in a divorce. That's why I tell you, brothers, do not offer comfort to women. This is what the Chad does, a man who brings nothing to the table but his seed. These men take women on an emotional roller coaster, making them show genuine interest. When a woman doesn't love you, she won't be feminine with you, which can lead to you becoming more feminine in the relationship in an attempt to please her, hoping she'll be intimate with you at night. That's why you see men who, when they get married, wither away like a flower because they enter a relationship where they have to pander to the woman and buy her with their assets. They have to keep doing this throughout the relationship just to keep the woman happy, because if they stop giving her money or luxuries, they'll lose her. Brothers, don't be the beta provider for a woman who doesn't choose you because she loves you. As I said, genuine interest is non-negotiable. But before we move on, brothers, we want you to support us in our goal for the coming months to reach 50,000 subscribers. We want our family to keep growing, so support us with your like and subscription. Don't forget to leave us your comments. We also have a super chat if you want to support the project. Without further ado, let's continue.
Story time, how I almost got caught dating multiple guys in one day. So this has happened several times, but this one time, this guy, we'll call him Brandon. Brandon took me out for an all-day event. We went to the spa, we got our nails done, we were just having a cutesy time. And for dinner, I was craving Chipotle, so he takes me to Chipotle. We walk in, guess who I see sitting there eating his Chipotle burrito? Ben, who I dated like a month ago. And mind you, I wasn't trying to ditch Ben, but he wasn't fast enough with the responses, so I had to go over to Brandon. So me and Brandon are ordering our food. I'm ordering like this, mind you, because he's sitting over there, and I don't want this man to see me. So I'm ordering like this, and then this man, pays for it or whatever. So when I turn the corner, we make eye contact, and it was the most cringy moment of my life. Oh my gosh, it was so awkward. I go out with Brandon, and Brandon takes me home. I get a text from Ben. So, hey, how you been? When are we going out? You're still interested, bro? Okay.
Of course, because you're a woman who arouses so much desire in men that they would fight for your love. Come on, Ben, go get her. Champ, please. When did you wake up from this dream? Something we can notice from here is that this woman is an actress, so she's trying to stay famous, and she'll tell you whatever it takes for that. Another thing is that it doesn't matter how a woman looks. There's almost always someone behind her. Now, the woman is promoting the idea of dating multiple men. In a previous video, we saw the results of this action. Another thing, brother, never settle for less than what you're worth. If a woman, in just a month of dating, leaves you for someone else simply because you're busy, what is she telling you? That the moment she gets bored, she'll cheat on you. Furthermore, if this guy, Ben, according to his story, had seen this, he would have ignored her. I can guarantee you she would have called him. Women hate it when a man doesn't give them attention. If he had played hard to get, never initiated contact, and seemed disinterested, she would have easily dropped the other guy shortly afterward to pursue him. And you, Ben, would have had the upper hand because she is willing to seek out the most masculine man. It might not be minutes later, it could take days, but trust me, brother, she would have pursued him. Don't lose your dignity for any woman.
Hey men, are you guys okay? Because you're really acting wild lately. I had a bizarre experience with one of you recently. I went out on several dates with this guy, 3 dates, okay? Hours long. I really am a marathon dater. Okay, we talked several times in between these dates. We really knew quite a bit about each other. We knew about past relationships. We had a lot of shared common experiences. Things we were looking up for this little rat. Okay, I said, this is great. Then one night, I give him a call. Post 3 dates, give him a call. It goes to his voicemail for the first time since we've known each other. And a baby starts talking on his voicemail. I said, hello? The baby's like, cuckoo, caca, cuckoo. You know how babies are. And I was like, what's going on here? And then at the very end of the voicemail, he comes on and he goes, hey, this is so-and-so. That's my son telling you to leave me a message. I said, you're who? You're what? I called it again. Happened again. Cuckoo, caca. That's my son. I said, yeah, confirmed. Interesting. I didn't know this man had a kid. We've talked for hours. He's never once mentioned that he has a child. Bizarre. So then he calls me back before I really have time to calibrate what I'm going to say to him. He goes, hey, what's going on? I said, hey, do you have a kid? He goes, yeah. I said, okay. Well, were you going to tell me? And he goes, I kind of just thought it was common knowledge. What are you, the president? What are you, a celebrity? What are you, walking red carpets? I said, common knowledge? Why would that be common knowledge? It's so bizarre. You guys are so odd. You got to help each other. I'm not ready to be a mother, okay? To you or your secret kids. Get it together, please.
Here, I want you to see 2 things. This man surely had more hidden things. He might be married. He might be divorced. We don't know. The only thing she doesn't want is to get involved with a man who has children. She probably doesn't have any herself. But imagine if this interaction were the other way around. This man finds out about the child later, says he doesn't want to be a father, and the entire internet hunts him down to crucify him for being sexist and misogynistic. He'd be flooded with messages to date a single mother doesn't mean you'll take care of her children, because single mothers often have this saying that a father is the one who raises the child, not just the one who conceives it. But let's not digress. Here's another thing I want you to notice. When a man instills fear and uncertainty in a woman, she becomes more interested in him. She says it herself. She has had marathon dates, but this one connected with her. He gave her some time, but then he created distance because you should never tell a woman everything. You have to leave some mystery for her to chase. This man did that. What matters most is the child or whether she wants it or not. But how many times do we see women dating the classic Chad who has numerous children from different partners and she's still happy with him? That's why genuine interest is non-negotiable, because even though this woman is dating several guys, she seeks out the one who is elusive, who creates an emotional roller coaster. This is what we should learn from this video. But in the next video, there's an interesting topic.
Can somebody please explain to me why we are encouraging young people to cohabitate instead of telling them to get married? You guys know right now I'm unemployed, so I have a lot of free time. So earlier this week, I watched 2 romantic comedies because those are my favorite kind of movies. In both movies, the premise of the movie was 2 young people that wanted to get married and their parents, grown people, telling them, why do you want to get married if everything is fine the way it is right now? This made me so upset because this society is trying so bad to normalize cohabitation when cohabitation is not biblical. Marriage is biblical. The Lord wants us to get married. The Lord designed sex to be had within the confines of marriage. In the Bible, there is no such thing as boyfriend and girlfriend, and even legally, when you're filling out legal papers, either you're single or you're married. What frustrates me so much is that marriage is a beautiful thing that God designed for us to enjoy, and the movies and social media, like, people are interpreting marriage to be a bad thing. Marriages are not bad. They just require work. They require time. They require patience, good communication, among thousands of other things that people are not willing to put in, and that's why they're so scared of getting married. Marriage literally teaches you commitment, and that's something that this generation is so scared of. How are you able to have a child outside of marriage, but not be willing to put a wedding ring on that woman's finger? These are all just my personal opinions, but I really think as a society or generation, we need to do better. And I also want to remind you guys that just because your parents had a bad relationship or you had bad images of marriages when you were growing up, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's how your marriage is going to go. We shouldn't be fearful of something that the Lord designed for us to enjoy and something that He considers to be delightful. If you have a healthy, godly relationship, there is nothing to fear when it comes to marriage because the Lord is in the center. And if the Lord is on it, He's going to allow it to flourish. He's going to allow it to grow. He's going to allow you guys to have a blessed marriage. So stay encouraged. Don't let people tell you, oh, getting married was the worst decision of my life. I wish I would have never gotten married. Like, why do you want to get married? I don't understand. Don't let those people put seeds of the enemy in your brain. If there's one thing that I look forward to in my life, it's getting married. Come on, y'all.
Women from the age of 25 and above start feeling the urgency to get married. Some want to have children, while others seek economic security or fear ending up alone as their circle of friends shrinks. Some simply wish to build a beautiful family, which is not a bad thing. The problem lies in how marriage laws are structured because while the union of God is beautiful as they say, separation, my brothers, is quite painful, especially for the man. Currently, you see movies, series, and television shows that talk about cohabitation because the institution of marriage is on the decline. Most wedding businesses are going bankrupt due to the high cost of getting married and the limited benefits it offers. Marriage mainly provides legal security, which tends to favor women. As for men, it's often not significantly different from cohabitation. The woman experiences a significant change in benefits. Another issue is that healthy marriages, nowadays, are few and far between, if not rare. We see more TikTok videos of women complaining about being married than ones extolling its benefits. Women talk about how well their divorces went rather than their married lives. When you look at the male perspective, it's enough to make you cry. Dismiss the idea of giving a woman an engagement ring. Cohabitation is becoming the norm. That's why society is adjusting and modifying laws, continuing to disadvantage men and seize their assets. That's why I say the world is increasingly pushing men to be alone or engage in fleeting relationships. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying all marriages are bad. There are good aspects to it, but current results and statistics have turned it into a bad deal. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. What are your thoughts on getting married nowadays? What do you think about women who say silly things in interview videos? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from the wall.